Welcome back to Maxwell Mortgages. This is Maxwell Mortgages episode number 4. We're on week 4. We're going to release it every Thursday moving forward. So thanks for joining us today. And again, this is about just one success, one failure, and then one question to ask yourself at the end of the day. Um, Starting with the introduction, though, I just wanted to say, my heart goes out to Colombia. I have family over there. My wife, my in-laws, a lot of the family is still living in Colombia. So if anybody was impacted by the earthquake that recently happened, sincerely, my heart goes out to you, and our family's hearts go out to yours. We are trying our best to do some donations as well. But I know that there's a lot of different ways you can donate, such as through the Red Cross donations. So I just wanted to put that out there and let everybody know that, there is a way to donate. And if you feel like doing so, it goes a long way, especially a US dollar to a Colombian peso. So this week, I guess the success is studying on your own time. Just because there are certain requirements or things that you have to do at work, maybe go to meetings, Zoom meetings, certain things like that, doesn't mean that that should be restricting you to only studying during those times. And what I mean by that is that you should be outreaching yourself and you should be looking to learn more on your own accord. All right. There was a quote that I saw somewhere recently, and it was on LinkedIn. It was on somebody's page. And basically, it said, never underestimate an employee who practices on their own time. To me, that's super powerful. That's something that I try to do. It's discipline. Really, when it comes down to it, it's like going to the gym. It's like waking up every morning, making breakfast, or doing your routine, but incorporating something into your world, into your daily routine that has something to do with what you're practicing. In this case, it's mortgages. So whether that be listening to another podcast, listening to a show like this, putting it on the car ride on the way into work on your commute, anything, incorporating any little thing into your life, that's what I'm finding success in. And I want to say that this week that it has been the success. The success is incorporating at least a little bit of time every single day to learning a little bit more on top of what I'm already required to do for work trainings. Now, in this industry, there's a lot of updates, there's a lot of upkeep, there's a lot of things that change, and a lot of little nuances that you need to understand. Well, take the time, research it on your own, get home, look it up more. Really do your due diligence because ultimately what you're doing is you're practicing the art form for your career. You're going to sound more trustworthy. You're going to come across as a strong lender to your customer because you have done your studying, you have done your homework, and now you're comfortable with those products and with what's going on in the mortgage industry, and you're able to talk to your customer. That's going to build trust. That's going to build that relationship. That's going to come with referrals. People are going to start referring you saying, hey, listen, Taylor knows his stuff. I feel comfortable referring him to you just as it, any other type of referral that you might go through in the world. Um, but listen, it's just a little bit every single day. Now, putting that into practice is a little bit difficult. I do just want to say that the failure that I found in this week was staying consistent with those practices. Now, my wife wears one of those shirts every now and then. It's like a typical gym shirt, no pain, no gain, that kind of hard O kind of thing. But in this case, I actually like the saying. The shirt is simple and it just says 1% better every day. Sounds so cheesy. That's not what the show is about. We're about no bullshit. And I think that seriously, 1% is really not that much to strive for better every single day. If that's what your goal is, then you can't really be letting yourself down too much by expecting 1% better every single day. I mean, that could just be a few minutes on the way to work. But the consistency is where I found failure. Again, this week I think that maybe it's just my own head. Maybe just me and I'm being a little too hard on myself, but maybe that's all that it is. Maybe that I'm just thinking I should be doing more and I'm not sticking to that own 1% better every day. Now that 1% can be different from person to person to person, but for me personally, I feel like if I'm not doing at least, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 minutes of practice outside of what I'm doing for, the needs of my career on my own time, then I'm not really practicing what I'm preaching. And to me, I feel like that's a failure. I just want to incorporate what I'm trying to preach. And for me, consistency is everything on that. You know, listening to those podcasts or just look up a YouTube video or just sign up for some newsletters for, mortgage association websites. Find any kind of newsletter that will give you daily updates. This will keep you in check. This will make you practice that 1% better every day. 1% better every day. And other tools that I like to use are things like ChatGPT. On my laptop, I have Copilot and it's built in with a button. I press it and I can just start a conversation. Sometimes I just find myself coming up with these questions about the industry and I just hop it in there real quick or Google and I'm searching it and I fall down a rabbit hole and all of a sudden I'm doing my studying for that day and I don't even recognize it. But you can also make games out of it. You can make something interesting out of it. What you can do and what people don't understand, and this is how I actually studied for my test quite a bit, was I actually would use ChatGPT and I'd say, can you make me a quiz? A multiple choice question quiz, A, B, C, or D, on this topic, these topics, regarding mortgages, whatever you want to set it to. And then that way you can actually do flashcards, you can do studying that way. But you're getting your 1%. You're getting that 1% every day. So come up with scenarios. Even you can just come up with scenarios if you want to come up with a customer situation and role play it with ChatGPT. Overcoming objections. Do practice with that. Just practice with somebody that you're friends with. Be like, hey, come up with some objections when I'm saying, you know, our rate is X amount today, and I'd like to get you in for a consultation. And the objection might be, oh, well, I don't know. I have to talk to my wife. Practice scenarios like that. Practice overcoming objections. Practice real life scenarios. Use the resources around you. What we've done at work actually is we've set up a weekly meeting with one of our chief operating officers just to sit down for 1 hour every single week to get in there and run questions past her, ask all the things that we're running into throughout the week. So these successes and these failures are now something that I can actually I have a scheduled meeting for and I can talk to. Maybe I'm just lucky in that fashion, but maybe try that at work for yourself too. If you're running into incorporating that 1% better every single day, start with 1% better every single week, then do every other day, then do every day. Build up to it gradually, but get there. Like the saying is, we're not there yet, but we're getting there. That's the whole point. 1% better every day. Um, find the success, find the failure, and then ask yourself a question. And then this week's question is going to be super simple. Am I doing enough every day? And the answer is no. I don't think that I'm doing enough. To some that I might be, but for me personally, I think I could be doing more. And so that's where my success and failures come in this week. This has been episode number 4 of Maxwell Mortgages. I do appreciate you guys listening. Again, please feel free to comment, post any questions, direct message me. I'm an open book. I'll end up posting my email. For those of you who are watching, again, we're just going back to, and I think what we're going to do is Thursdays are going to be kind of a casual day. This is going to be our podcasting, networking, outreaching day. You can find me on LinkedIn under Taylor Maxwell. You can find me again. This is my YouTube channel is Maxwell Mortgages. But please feel free to reach out if you want to role play some of those scenarios, even with me, or if you want to ask me more questions about how I study or do that 1% every day, every week, every other day, I'd be more than happy to connect with people. Again, in this business, it seems like a lot of what it is just connecting with people and the outreach. And that's all that I'm trying to do through this podcast, this YouTube, this show. So please feel free to reach out. Again, thank you so much, and thanks for watching Maxwell Mortgages. This is Taylor Maxwell. Thank you so much, and have a great day.